Okay, so we left off with number 6. Make sure if you can cancel all the outside numbers, you cancel all the outside numbers. Number 7, same format. Information to draw a triangle, which formula to use. You draw your triangle. We're good at that by now. Remembering that we have to use a formula. So we use a formula. You're not just going to plug in a number here for theta and get an answer. Sine of theta is -4/5. Cosine of theta is 3/5. Multiply them all together and you have an answer. Number 8, it's another backwards formula. So cosine squared A minus sine squared A, that is cosine 2A. So since we know what A is, 2A, well, 2A, we're just going to multiply both sides by 2. So if you multiply both sides by 2, you will get 3/4. That's something we can find. So cosine of 3 pi over 4 is negative radical 2 over 2 that you find on your unit circle. Number 9. Okay, this one is rough. So find sine of theta over 2. So that's what we have to find. If cosine of theta in blah, 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 draw your triangle. So we draw our triangle. Once you draw your triangle, you're going to be able to plug it into the formula. And there is our formula. Isn't it beautiful? Right away, let's do the plus or minus thing, even though I didn't do that till the end. So we know that theta is in quadrant 2. Well, we need to know where theta over 2 is. So theta is in quadrant 2. That's between 90 and 180. That means if we divide everything by 2, theta over 2 is between 45 and 90. That's in quadrant 1. Quadrant 1, everything's positive. So cosine of theta over 2, sine of theta over 2, it says cosine here, but sine of theta over 2 is going to be positive. Anything for theta over 2 is going to be positive. So our answer is going to be positive. So you can ignore all of those plus or minuses now. So we have our formula, cosine of theta. Well, here's my theta. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so that's -1/2. Minus a negative is plus a positive. Add 1 and 1/2 together, you get 3/2. Multiply by the reciprocal of 2, which so you're going to multiply by 1/2, and we'll get the square root of 3/4. You can take the square root of 4, that's 2. So we are going to end up with a positive radical 3 over 2. And finally, we have use the half angle formula. It even tells you which formula to use to find the exact value of pi over 12. The exact value of sine of pi over 12. Since pi over 12 is not a unit circle thing, we're going to have to use the half angle formula to make it a unit circle thing. So the half angle formula, and this should be written on here, so we're gonna write. Since we know we're going to use the half angle formula, we want to figure out pi over 12 equals theta over 2. We need to figure out what theta is. So we want to use that half angle formula, which is right there. So we multiply both sides by 2. 2's cancel, 2 and 12 cancel, so theta equals pi over 6. So now we can plug pi over 6 in for our theta. Pi over 6 is a unit circle thing, so we could say that cosine of pi over 6 is radical 3 over 2. We're going to multiply everything by 1/2, or you can just decide to multiply everything by 2. You'll end up having the same issue. If we wanted to, so I don't think it's going to let me do that, but we'll try. If we wanted at this point to multiply everything by 2 just to get rid of this fraction here, if we multiply everything by 2, we would actually end up exactly here. So we could take a shortcut and go there. So we have radical 2 minus radical 3 over 2 times 2 is 4, so the square root of 4 is 2. And then we have to decide is it plus or is it minus. So that's actually typed right here. Since our original problem is to find sine of pi over 12, pi over 12 is in quadrant 1. Everything in quadrant 1 is positive, so our answer is going to be positive. And it's not going to let me write positive, but that's okay. You know it's positive because it's positive right there. For this entire quiz, make sure that you are using a formula, and if you are finding the cosine, sine, or tangent of an angle, you will get a number. The cosine and the sine don't come with. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. Good luck.